Hi Beans, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Remy and I share lots of vegan recipes and tips to help you live well. Today, as you can tell by the title of the video, we're gonna be talking about money, and we're specifically talking about things that I no longer buy. I was thinking about this the other day, just how my spending habits have changed and certain replacements that I've made in my life. Now, most of the time when I see videos like this, they are about minimalism. I am by no means a minimalist, but I do think there are a lot of areas in my life that I've made very conscious swaps that help both my bank account and the planet out as a result. Some of these are gonna be a little funky, so that's gonna be my disclaimer before we start, but let's get into it. Number one is paper towels. I have not purchased paper towels in a really long time, of course with a couple of exceptions for really messy situations, but I really have not been buying paper towels for many years. I would say ever since I started college. I realized in college, especially when I was on a budget, that it made sense to buy reusable cloths and use them instead. So you can use them instead of napkins at the table, use it to wipe up spills. I love like the Swedish towels that are infinitely reusable, as well as just like any old tea towel that you can find lying around. Not only that, but I feel like it is so much more aesthetically pleasing. Like you can hang them up on your fridge or any oven handles that you have, and you can't really do that with paper towels. This swap is obviously naturally a little bit more sustainable, so I would highly recommend it, but personally I find that it's just beneficial all around. And really once you get in the habit of it, you realize how quick you'll be to grab for a paper towel when you don't really need one, and a lot of it goes to waste. Along that similar vein is number two, Ziploc bags. I am so proud of this one. I've not purchased them probably since my first couple of years living alone. Instead of Ziploc bags, I use stasher bags, empty jars. You can reuse jars of peanut butter that you have. You can really get creative with what kind of containers that you're using. And I find that this is so helpful because even though Ziploc bags are affordable and they come in these like bulk packages, the average person in their lifetime will spend quite a lot on Ziplocs. And it's kind of similar to the paper towel thing. I would be so quick to grab a Ziploc for like anything, even though it would be super unnecessary just because I had them lying around and they were so available. So I did the math, and at Costco, a variety pack, which comes with 52 gallon, 52 quart, 120 snack, and 125 sandwich snack packs, is priced at $18.99. And then an average box of a single type costs anywhere between $3 to $13, and then an average household is expected to go through about 500 Ziploc bags a year. Now, stasher bags, which are what I use in replacement for Ziploc bags, they're infinitely reusable, they're sustainable, they are also much more aesthetically pleasing, and you can cook in them, you can bake in them, you can even boil in them. They're pretty incredible, and I like to make popcorn in them, which is my little hack. But those are definitely much pricier, but the difference is that you can reuse them over and over again. So it's kind of one of those things that over time will pay for itself. But again, a much more affordable way to do that is go with glass jars, even plastic Tupperware containers that are reusable. Anything that is usable more than once will do a better job than a Ziploc bag, and in the long run will pay for itself. So the stasher bag starter kit prices, the best seller, which is a 7-pack, comes in at $92. So it is definitely up there, but there are much more affordable options you can find. And like I said, you can also thrift, you can repurpose jars of tomato sauce, marinara sauce, all that good stuff. Or if you're willing to wait it out, in the long run, it will end up paying for itself. Number three is smoothies. This one is really random, but I just got really tired of paying for smoothies. It's difficult for me to find a smoothie at a cafe or a smoothie bar that I find tastes better than what I make at home. There are a couple of exceptions, and if I ever do get a smoothie out, it's usually because I'm pretty desperate for something that's just very nutritious or quick, or I'm really on the run. But I like my smoothies thick, like so thick that you have to scoop them with a spoon. And usually when you're at like a juice bar, it's just not the case because it depends on who's making the smoothie at the time. Not only that, but I feel like when you add in the things that you want to add in, like God forbid you add a plant protein to your drink or a superfood of any kind, you might be paying anywhere from like $10 to $17. Here in LA, there are smoothies going for like $18. I also feel like it's just an unnecessary waste of a plastic cup and a plastic straw. And I think really it's amazing to make smoothies at home because you can use frozen fruit, and that's one of the most affordable produce items that you can find at the grocery store. They're in season year round, and ripe fruit is picked at really like the peak of its season and then frozen, flash frozen. So never feel bad about buying frozen produce. It's like one of the best things that you can buy on a budget at the grocery store. I think the initial investment in the ingredients and obviously a blender can be kind of up there, but for the price of like one smoothie, you could make 4 to 5 smoothies at home. And I think it's so worth it, especially if you're someone that enjoys them often, and you can make them with much better ingredients. Some juice bars will throw in like apple juice concentrate concentrate, agave, things that have no business being in your smoothie. So you have full control at home and you'll save a lot of money. The next one, number 4, is avocado toast. And I feel very similarly about avocado toast as I do smoothies. Basically, I only purchase avocado toast when I'm really desperate. Sometimes it is the only thing on the menu. I really like to make avocado toast at home because it's much more efficient. It's much more cost effective as well. And you can customize it and make it a lot less basic. So I like an avocado toast with some olive oil, some lemon juice, some chili flakes, flaky salt, some pepper, some sprouts maybe. Sometimes I've had really expensive avocado toast where I'm literally just getting a piece of bread and like very little avocado and just salt. And it's really not that good. But again, when you're vegan, sometimes it's kind of your only option. So really I'll only get it when it's like the only vegan option on the menu. I know that there's like this ongoing meme about millennials loving avocado toast, but the truth is it's really not that pricey if you make it at home. I've paid sometimes up to $15 for avocado toast. Like especially between New York and LA, there are some cafes where it is crazy expensive to get a slice of avocado toast. And you're usually only gonna get like half an avocado. So please, make your avocado toast at home. You can make it deliciously and I promise it'll be so much better that way. And it won't break the bank. Number 5 is pads, tampons, just feminine hygiene products. So this is, I feel like, one of the kind of bigger contributors to waste, especially for women, because it's sort of a necessity. Obviously, we all menstruate about once a month and we go through a lot of product. I transitioned off of single-use feminine hygiene products around the time that I was in college. Similar to the whole paper towel thing, I realized how much I started to spend on all the products that I needed because I wasn't living at home anymore and had to buy them myself. And I just thought, out of curiosity, let me try a menstrual cup, see what it's all about, see if I like it, and it's been a game changer for me. Since purchasing that first menstrual cup, I have not spent a single penny on any pads, tampons, panty liners, or anything like that. And instead what I use is a full sustainable set of menstrual products. So now, and I actually have a couple of videos on this, but I'll use a period underwear in place of pads or liners. I'll use a cup instead of tampons, and that pretty much does it for me. I think that switching to reusable products is better for your personal health because I know that some of the ingredients that are found in pads and tampons are not always the best. Not only that, but it's better for the health of the planet because there's less waste involved. And I also think as a very active person, I can really vouch for it being the best and most secure. The combination of like a menstrual cup, which is a suction seal, and period underwear, I can go to yoga, I can be upside down, inverting, handstands, you name it, and I feel so good and the most secure ever. And you know, I wear a lot of white, so this is a true testament. So I did the math on this one. The average use is about 20 tampons per month for a menstruating person. And then an average box of 36 will cost anywhere between $7 to $8. So at $8 per box and 20 tampons per month, a menstruating person will spend about $56 a year on tampons. Now, we all know how this goes. I always used to have excess lying around. I would always want to have extra just in case, different sizes, pads, tampons. So the average lifetime spending at this rate is about $1,700, and this is just tampons alone. Meanwhile, the average cost of a cup is about $20 to $40 per cup, and it can last you up to 10 years. Average spending on menstrual cups in a lifetime is about $80. This is a stat. The average lifetime cost of feminine products, including heating pads, underwear, birth control, all of that factored in, the total cost of these products in a menstruating person's lifetime is about $18,000. Compare that to $80. I mean, it's a steal. Now, I know that reusable cups are not for everyone. For whatever reason, it comes down to what makes you most comfortable, but if you've ever considered making the switch, I highly, highly recommend it. Number 6, plastic water bottles. I feel so passionately about this one. I feel like plastic water bottle is just a scam. I really feel like access to clean drinking water should be a human right, but unfortunately it isn't. And some of the bottled water that we see sold on the market these days are just glorified tap water. And it's really sad because not only is it just commodifying something that should be a human right, but it's also doing so much damage to the environment with the amount of plastic produced just to encapsulate these bottles when we could have alternatively free fountains everywhere, and we really should. So I don't support plastic bottle usage. There are very few drinks that I'll make an exception for, things like coconut water or things that you cannot find in other containers. But when it comes to drinking water, I always have my water bottle on me and I'll fill it up. You can just drink tap water. Tap water is drinkable. all over the country if you live in the US, and if you don't live in the US, chances are the water is even better, like if you're in Europe, for example. So invest in a water bottle, and then you can have unlimited free water. Ask for it to be filled up at restaurants, take advantage of the taps, the airport fill-up stations. I mean, it's really one of the best things I think everyone could do for the environment. Yeah, I just hate plastic water bottles. It's such a scam. Number 7, this one's kind of weird, but I don't buy deodorant. And this is because I have a specific gene where I don't produce body odor. So I remember when I was younger, I bought it because I just wanted to fit in. Like all my friends were starting to wear deodorant and the scents were so cool. I remember some girls had like a green apple scented deodorant and I really just wanted to fit in. So I bought one and I was like putting it on. I never needed it, and I realized as I got older, like, what's the point? I'm just wasting money and time like applying it on. Not only that, but a lot of deodorants are made with some not so great ingredients like artificial fragrances, and just, you shouldn't really be blocking off your sweat glands, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like antiperspirants are so unnatural because your body is meant to naturally sweat, and if it's not coming out of your armpits, like, where is it going? You know, sweating is one of the natural functions that your body does for a reason, and so yeah, I just feel like if you're gonna go deodorant, go natural, you know, but luckily I do not have to wear deodorant. So that is one area that I save in, but it's also just more convenient. I just, my biggest flex is that I don't really get stinky. Number 8 is also kind of self-care related, and that is a loofah. I don't really use the typical loofahs that you'll find in most drugstores. The main reason being that I find them to be pretty scratchy, but also ineffective. And they're usually made with plastic. So not many of them on the market are made with recycled plastic, although those do exist nowadays. But I use, I'm gonna let you know my secret, this Korean scrubbing mitt, and it is the only thing you need. It's almost like a thin piece of fabric and you just scrub hard, and it is so satisfying. I was thinking about putting in a clip of like the dead skin rolling off your body, but all you do is with water and you start rubbing and you could see the dead skin coming off. It's so gross, but so satisfying, and I love it because Koreans and like many Asians are really into exfoliation. I think it's so good for your body and, you know, obviously your skin. It's just a great thing to do, but if you're gonna do it, I feel like invest in something that'll really get in there. Number 9 is drinks, alcoholic drinks. When I eat out, I don't obviously drink because I've been sober for many years now, and I realize that it's an area that I save a lot of money in. When I go out to eat with friends and we don't get drinks, I realize that the tab is so much lower just because we're not drinking cocktails. And I feel like this is something that I've learned from my server friends, but serving for brunch or any time where alcohol is served, it's a great tip time for servers because the bill is always so much higher. So I like to joke around and call myself a cheap date. I just eat the vegetables and I don't even get a drink. But yeah, if I am getting something, it's like a water, it's a tea. Maybe I'll get like a non-alcoholic bubbly drink if I'm feeling adventurous, but I really don't drink, and it's been great. Great for my health and great for my bank account. The last one is designer bags, designer shoes, just designer goods in general. There are very few designers that make vegan-friendly products. I know that Stella McCartney may be one of the only ones that makes vegan-friendly bags, for example. And I do have a bag or two from her, but aside from that, it's not something that I really care very much about. And I think this was just like an advantage of being vegan. Early on, I realized, okay, I really can't be using any leather. I don't want to wear any calf skin for any animal byproducts, and that eliminated a lot of designers for me. And of course, when I was younger, there was a time where I cared a little bit about designer bags because I thought it meant that you were like cool, that you were doing well, successful. It was like a sign of being a successful person to be able to afford that stuff. But by the time I was making enough money to even like afford something like that, the only option or thing I was interested was Stella McCartney. And now I couldn't care less because most of the bags I have are sustainable and vegan. They're just not designer. Honestly, I feel like it's just a personal thing where I don't want to be wearing leather, and it's just like a personal belief thing, but it saved me a lot of money over the years because there were so many boots, handbags, even sneakers that I thought were really cool and I would lust after. And it was so easy for me to just be like, you know what? It's not for me because I'm vegan and it's not worth the life of an animal for me. So yeah, kind of like an unexpected benefit, I guess, being vegan, but it's the truth. So these are all of the things that I don't buy anymore. I'm sure there's like more things, I just couldn't think of any, but I would love to know if there are any that you have on the list that are similar, things that you no longer buy, or if there's anything weird that you want to share in the comments below, let me know. I'm so interested to hear. And if you can relate to any of mine, please let me know also. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in another one soon. Bye.